All right, Wilson, that's enough, man. That's enough. That's enough. Let me turn this down, and then I'm gonna set this on the home screen because I need your undivided attention, man. You be getting distracted too easy. Put this on that or whatever. Anyways, that was the Sony AN1000 and all of the component speakers. What you think, man?
It sounds so good.
That was kind of sick. I'm glad you brought all your friends with you. Welcome back, guys. Welcome to New Stuff TV, the Untechnical Tech channel. I'm your host, Antoine, Good, Better, and Best Richardson, because today, that's what we're doing. We're going to figure out which one is good, which one is better, and which one is the best between the Sony Bravia Theater Bar 9, the Sony Bravia Theater Quad, and the Sony AN1000 with all of its component speakers. So, Wilson, we just sampled the same movie clip on 3 different systems. I'm sure you already have in mind like what's good, better, and best.
Oh yeah.
But we need to kind of do a shallow dive, not a deep dive, a shallow dive into why we have good, better, and best. So with the Bravia Theater 9 soundbar, we had it hooked up to the RS5 rear speakers with Dolby Atmos and the SW5 subwoofer. How did that sound to you?
It sounded really good. Like definitely better than a TV.
Of course, it's
Yeah.
a soundbar.
Oh yeah.
With subwoofers and rears.
But
As far as like separation, Dolby Atmos, like, you know, how did it move you?
I mean, the only thing that I have really had complaints about was just the rear Atmos was not really hitting for me. We had to turn it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you were sitting far away from it. That's why I had to turn it up.
I guess so.
Okay.
But
Come
yeah.
on, man.
It sounded pretty good though.
All right.
I wouldn't be mad about it.
I think it's a phenomenal sound system, personally. It is actually the best sound bar I've ever owned. I've had 2 of LG's top tier sound bars, and I also currently still own the Sony STR-AN1000 sound bar and I used it with the same RS5 rears and the same SW5. And the Theater Bar 9 by far sounds way better, especially when it comes to the center channel and hearing those vocals and stuff. But it's a phenomenal sound bar, and I think it's like one of the best, if not the best, on the market as far as sound bars go. So that's my experience personally. But then I'll let you hear what the quad sounded like.
Oh dude, the quad sounds really good.
Dude, before we get into the sound of the quad, come over here, man. Let's show the people the quad, because this is new. Come over here, man. So this is new, okay? This is new this year. This is the Sony Quad. It's called a quad because there are 4 of these, right? And then it has 4 corners. But besides the 4 of these and the 4 corners, there are 4 speakers in there. You get it? Quad. That's cool, right? But you also have Dolby Atmos built into each speaker. So I don't know if that's a 5th driver or not, but we're going to still go with the quad, okay? Just for namesake. I love it. What you think, man?
It's gorgeous.
Look at the thinness. You know what I'm saying? That is not your typical loudspeaker. You know what I'm saying? It's super thin. It's like 2 inches. I'm putting my finger. It's like 2.5 inches probably, thick or deep. And then you got this shallow panel here. And honestly, I got it on a stand. By the way, don't be judging my room here. I got a lot of crap going on. I got like projectors, TVs, and audio systems hooked up all over the place just so I can do videos for you. I don't want no judging, okay? I do this for you guys. But I just threw these up on the stands because I couldn't put them here because they would actually block this 100-inch screen. But if this actually belonged to me, because it doesn't, this actually belongs to Sony. I called up Sony, man. I was like, hey, Sony, man, do you have a theater quad I could borrow just for a few days? And Sony man was like, bro, I got you. So they send it over here for me to borrow and tell you guys about it. So I'm gonna do another video about this soon, but today we're just talking about, you know, the comparison between the 3 different types of units. But if this actually belonged to me, I would actually have either in here or in my bedroom. This thing would be on the wall because you can wall mount it. It comes with a 9-foot power cable. That's long enough to run behind your wall and then into a power outlet. So yeah, and that's it. Everything is wireless with the quad. This is the brain box. So you don't have some giant, you know, AV system or whatever. It's just a little brain box. You said this looked like what, Apple TV?
It's like Apple TV or like a Mac Mini almost.
Okay, is that how big that is?
Yeah, just about.
I've never seen one in real life. That's serious?
Yeah, just about like that size, yeah.
Wow, cool. So there you go for a size comparison. Has a little LCD screen on the front right there. But that's the brains, right? And this will cast out its connection to the quad speakers, and you can connect this to a wireless subwoofer such as the SW5 or the SW3. Just a personal upgrade, Sony. If you actually gonna watch my videos, I don't know if you really do or not, hey man, can we actually have like some software to add 2 subwoofers to this joint? Dude, could you imagine?
Oh my God, having
2
two subwoofers,
SW3s or SW5s?
that'd be insane.
That'd be nuts. I almost cussed. That'd be nuts, man. But anyways, there's only 4 of these. We got 2 right here, 1 in the front, 1 in the left and right. And then I just put these back here. So this is the stand that it comes on. It's a stand that just kind of screws on the bottom. There's your power cable, and it just sits here in the back. And even back here on this shelf, and I just kind of threw it there, right? How good does that look sitting there?
So nice, man.
It's almost like art, bro.
They're so pretty. Even in person, they're just so nice.
You almost don't even notice them. But it's 4 speakers. It's a total of 16 speakers we got here. And if you add the SW5 subwoofer, which actually is sold separately, that's when you get your other speaker, and that's where you get your bass from. But how did that sound to you, man?
It sounds so good. They're so clear and so loud.
They really are. They were definitely loud. With me, it was the sound separation that did it for me. With a soundbar is only going to be so wide, right? I've seen 48-inch soundbars like that, 4 foot wide, but that's as far as they go. With these, you can position them far away. These are actually positioned roughly 10 feet away, and they sound fantastic. Then you got the ones in the back, fantastic. And the best part about it is you ain't got to run no wires. You just plug them into the wall and you're good to go. Atmos, when I played Fury Road, were you getting better Atmos or about the same as the Bravia Theater Bar 9?
Oh, I was getting better on this one. It felt more separated than the Bravia Theater Bar 9.
Okay, what about the overhead though?
It was good. It was clear. I could hear it all. It was very nice.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like you do get better overhead Atmos performance, even though these are not overhead. These are pretty much ear and face level is where I have them. So good job on that, Sony, in creating something that looks so elegant and subdued at the same time with black magic. Dude, it's black magic. It's dark, evil magic that they put into these speakers.
It's also nice that it's like the rear speakers and the front speakers are all the same, so it just surrounds you equally.
But here's a little fun fact. Even though they're all identical, they're labeled on the bottom, front left, front right. So you can't mix them. You shouldn't have them because they're actually labeled, even though they're all identical. Now, let's talk about the AVR, the Sony AN1000. Let's do a little walkthrough. So just in case people don't even know what AVR is. So AVR is kind of old school. This is a receiver. This is it, just big old black box. This on the bottom, this is my UHD disc player. But from here up, this is the AVR. This is the AN1000 receiver. This thing does a lot. It does more stuff than I actually have it doing right now because I don't even have what's needed to make it do everything it's supposed to do, but it's capable of a lot of things. So what we got this running on, or what we have running off of this, is 2 Dolby Atmos speakers. They call these toppers sometimes because you can actually sit them on top of these tower speakers and they fire up and bounce the sound off the walls. But I wanted physical separation and physical Dolby Atmos. So I hung them up there and I have wires. See, this is a cable. You just got to, none of these speakers are powered except the subwoofers. These are all these have to plug in through stereo cable in the back of the AVR. So that means you're going to have to run wires, okay? So everywhere you see a speaker, there's a wire that's running into the back of that AVR. We're going to have to talk about it in a minute. These are the tower speakers, the Core Series tower speakers that Sony has. Great speakers, and they're relatively cheap for the performance. I'm going to tell you, these are probably some of the best bang for buck speakers you're going to get on the market. So with these speakers sitting here in the front, a lot of people like them, like tower speakers because they're cool and people want to show off their speakers, so they take the covers off. Me and my wife, we don't roll that way. We like nice aesthetics that are like home aesthetics. So we keep them covered up and we keep them in front of these curtains to kind of make them disappear. And that's where you get to that advantage of the quad. You know what I'm saying? It disappears on its own, you know? So that's kind of an advantage of the quad. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4 speakers. And then we have a center channel right here, which is a dedicated center channel for vocals and everything that comes from the center of your content. And then we have 2, so it was at 5 speakers. Then we have 2 rear speakers, which are Sony's Core Series bookshelf speakers, which are right here. I literally have them in a bookshelf, go figure, right? So I just kind of tuck them in there, give them a little space to breathe, and boom. And then I have 2 of these right here. So where's that, 5? That's 5, 6, 7. So the AN1000 has hookups for 2 subwoofers. So we got 2 of these 10-inch subwoofers right here. One on the left and one on the right. These suckers bang, dude.
They're so good.
They bang hard. So as far as the sound, what you think, Wilson? How was the sound with the AVR, just in general, not compared to anything?
It's incredible. It feels like a true like movie theater experience.
I think so too. Dude, I was, the first time I watched Fury Road, dude, the house was shaking. Bonnie thought it was raining outside because the boom, the thunder, like, and she was downstairs. Oh my God, it's crazy, man. I love watching content on this. But as far as a tier system, you got to have good, better, and best, right? We got to rank them. So what would be good?
Good, I'd probably say the Bar 9.
Bar 9?
Yeah, because it's better than the TV. I mean, the sound is there, but I feel like it's lacking in separation of sound. Mm-hmm. But everything is there that you need. You can feel things going overhead. You have somewhat of a surround, but it's just not separated enough.
I agree. All right, cool. What's better?
Definitely the quad.
Okay.
Dude, the quad, the fact that you can physically separate the speakers and like surround the room in sound, just
good detail too.
Yeah,
good detail.
It sounds incredibly good.
Yeah.
And they're so aesthetically pleasing to look at.
And just in case you didn't remember or know, I actually used the SW5 subwoofer with the Theater Bar 9 and with the quad.
It's a great
sub.
So
same bass.
It's a great sub.
Okay. So a best would be the AVR with all these speakers.
Oh, easy. Just the separation of everything on the AVR is incredible.
I feel like that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
due to just the sheer physics of it. You know, Wilson, your opinion is usually pretty stupid. But today, you on point, man. You on point, man.
There you go.
Oh, man. As far as like the good, better, and best, yes. In my opinion, Wilson is absolutely right for a change. Dude, I'm still shocked by that, you being right for a change. But it's not for everybody. Just because it's the best, that doesn't mean it's going to be the best for you. And here's why. With a sound bar, like, who needs a sound bar?
People who just want something better out of a TV.
Okay. I wouldn't even say better. In the Theater Bar 9 case with the RS5 rears and the SW5 subwoofer, you're getting much better than a TV. Like, you're leveling up a few levels, right?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
But what you're not doing is running a bunch of wires in your house, and you're not spending a crap ton of money, well, give or take, because we're going to talk about price in a little bit. But it's still a very simple and traditional type of setup where people have like a whatchamacallit, like a TV stand or something like that, you know, just traditional setup. So I think it's for those people, right? But then when you get up to the quad, you're going to have to crack open your piggy bank a little bit. Because the thing is pretty pricey, but is it worth it?
I think for how gorgeous these speakers are, the fact that you can just hide them,
okay,
they're just
so you're paying
good.
For not only this, the sound is a given, right?
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
The sound and performance is a given, but you're also paying a little bit more of a premium for aesthetics and science. Dude, there's science. It's not science, it's black magic. We already discussed this. There's black magic in those speakers, and that's gonna come at a little bit of a premium. But then we kind of go old school, and then we go to an AVR. Well, let's go back just a little bit. So who is the quad for?
I think people who just want something that can hide their speakers away, who don't want to see their speakers.
It's kind of interesting because you can hide them in plain sight, or they could just become part of the decor. Like they look that good. That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like double duty. But so that's who that's for, and the person with a little bit of disposable income.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then you got the old school, which would be the AN1000 receiver. And let me just tell you right now, every speaker I just showed you from the AN1000 setup has a wire running under my carpet. There's a lot going on under there. 2 subwoofer cables, coaxial mono cables or whatever. Then you got the stereo wires coming from each one of those speakers. And then I just showed you the one coming from the ceiling. It's madness behind my cabinet because of that receiver. So sometimes that requires a more professional setup from an actual contractor or professional, or just the guy or girl who likes to tinker and ain't afraid to plug something in and maybe see some electricity in person. So I mean, it can be a little daunting for somebody to hook that up. Would you consider yourself an audio expert?
Not even a little bit.
I'm not. I just like hearing stuff.
Yeah.
And if it sounds good, I'll turn it up. But I did it, so I hooked my own stuff up. So anybody can do this, right? It's like the caveman thing. But you do need to actually do the work. It is, let's look at price. Let's compare. So which one do you think is the least expensive?
I would think the Bar 9 is the least expensive.
Who? Wrong. Let's start with the Bar 9 though. So the Bar 9, we're talking retail price for everything, right? The Bar 9 with the SW5 subwoofer and also the RS5 rear Atmos speakers, you're gonna look at a total price of $2,700 for the complete setup. It's gonna sound good, okay? We've already discussed this. For $2,700, you got your complete package. And then for the theater quad, what are you thinking?
I don't know. For the aesthetics of everything and for the sound, I'll probably say in the 3,000 range.
Okay, so we've gone from good at $2,700, better at $3,200.
Oh, okay.
Now you have to purchase just the quad, the 4 speakers, and then you have to get the SW5 subwoofer. So that's going to total up retail at $3,200. To me, I think that's a pretty fair price when you factor in the awesome factor of, the decor and being able to hide them in plain sight and stuff like that, and the black magic and science. And then the AVR system is actually the cheapest.
Is it really?
Yeah, man. The AN1000 is $900. The center speaker is $170. The 2 bookshelf speakers come as a pair at $200. The tower speakers are, they come individually, but they're $460 total. The Atmos speakers are $200, and each sub is $250. So with all of the stuff you see here, retail price will be $2,430.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by that because it's a lot, you know what I mean? But then you got to buy wires though, so it starts to kind of trickle up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then you got to pay for an installer if you need an installer.
If you need an installer, yeah. So it just kind of depends on your needs. It really just depends on your needs and circumstances and what you want to see. Because now we actually, for a change, at first it was just really just Bang & Olufsen doing like aesthetics on speakers. Have you ever really seen any other manufacturers making speakers pretty?
No, not really.
Okay.
I gotta say these
like regular consumer speakers.
Regular consumer speakers? No,
they're not really pretty.
No, not at all.
It's Bang & Olufsen that does that, and they're not really consumer friendly prices. You know what I'm saying? But now we got the quad here. I think, look, me personally, I love the AN1000. Ain't getting rid of it anytime soon. This is my setup. The Theater Bar 9, it lives in my bedroom. It is fantastic. But I really do think the star of the show here is the quad. It is what it is. What you think, man?
I agree. They're incredible, gorgeous. They're just great sound.
Dude, you are coming around, dude. You used to have like brain rot and come up with the worst freaking analysis ever. But now, man, did you drink something? Did you drink it like a drink?
I had an energy drink.
I'm just messing with you, man. No, man, but Wilson's right. It's like the quad is the star of the show, man, and it is what it is. Either way, I just wanted to do a quick, candid comparison between the 3 types of setups because they are vastly different from each other in price as well as how you set it up and how it looks. So I'm sure somebody out there was wondering, were you ever concerned about it?
I was a little bit, seeing all these things coming in.
Well, now, yeah, a lot of stuff runs
through
here, right? Well, now you know. Y'all keep being good to each other, and we'll see you when we see you.